Hola. Right, I thought if you like Sandman on Netflix, I've got a few little, maybe obscure graphic novels, comics, one-shots, stories. If you're a Neil Gaiman fan, or you want to search out more Neil Gaiman work, and you've only got the odd book, or you've got all you've got, I mean, it's still wonderful stuff. If you've got the complete collection of the Sandman graphic novels, in 2009, Neil Gaiman, from his novella, he wrote Dream Hunters. Now, there's beautiful artwork inside. I've got the 4 issues, and I'm going to go through these 4 issues because it's a wonderfully beautiful story. I didn't read the novella that he'd written first of all, and that this is a comic book adaptation of, and I'm going to go through it and just show off a little bit of the artwork, a little bit of what makes it so Gaiman, all the wonderful stuff that if you like beautiful artwork by Yashimata Amano, forgive me if I've mispronounced that, but anyway, the beautiful, she's a great artist who done the covers. P. Craig Russell did the artwork inside, and we're going to delve into that shortly because that is what makes it. And he worked with Gaiman. They worked quite closely on a few bits. That was 2009, and I wondered if it was a bit obscure. So if you've got this standard Sandman graphic novels, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying, oh my God, you know, you're missing out. You're missing out if you don't try and pick this up. But what I'm saying is you've got the good shit. This is more. From that, the same artist. Now this obviously isn't obscure at all. This one isn't obscure at all. But I'm just going to, because it's the same artist that's in the Dream Hunters, and he's one of my favourite artists of all time, my favourite comic artist of all time. I mentioned Elric in one of my other videos. He did a wonderful run. Or wonderful, he kind of done bookends. He'd done the first series for Pacific Comics back in the late 80s, maybe early 90s, and then about 10 years later he done the last book adaptation into comic form. P. Craig Russell, awesome. We're going to go through, we're going to flip through a little bit of a different format for me in this video, because after the scroll it will be me going through. You won't see the new haircut and everything anymore in this video after the scroll, because we'll be looking down on these pages and I'll just be going through. I'm not going to spoil it. I will go through artwork for all 4 issues, but I'll be careful editing out anything that I think may spoil the story for you. If you manage to pick up, or you want after this video, you want to pick up the Dream Hunters, which is going to be the main focus, but I'm going to just contrast and compare maybe with a little bit of Coraline if you haven't got it, or if you've got Coraline you'll see what I'm going on about if you haven't got Dream Hunters. Another little bit of obscura, only a little short story he wrote. This is 1998 for Vertigo. There's a short story in there, artwork by John Bolton, another British artist. So like I say, a little bit of obscurity if you're a Gaiman fan. And it is a Sandman story. Now this last one isn't the Sandman story, but it's Neil Gaiman, and I dug it up the other day, putting these shelves up and filling them with books and graphic novels all up in the loft and garage and everywhere, back of the garden, buried under the patio. Violent Cases, 1987. Dave McKean, remember him? Arkham Asylum, anyone? We'll go through the artwork inside. Again, a little bit of obscura. If you're a Gaiman fan, and I know everyone can Google, we can Google and Siri and Alexa, everything now, can't we? But it might be that you're a Gaiman fan, but you've just done Gaiman Sandman or Gaiman novels. This may have avoided detection. And like I say, 1987, so we've got the noughties to go through, then back to the 90s, and then back to the 80s, because I am a geekyOlhog. So meet me after the scroll for digging into a bit of Gaiman, Obscura and Sandman wonderment. Okay, right, let's get into it. Here we go. Sandman, The Dream Hunters, issue 1. Neil Gaiman, P. Craig Russell. Beautiful cover by a Japanese artist called Yuko Shimizu. Not what I said before about Yoshitaka Amano. She did the illustrations of the book, the novella that Gaiman did. But this is about P. Craig Russell, the graphic storyteller, as well as Neil Gaiman, because obviously the collaboration with these two, the Dream Hunters, this is the 6th collaboration that they did. This came immediately after Coraline, which we'll have a quick look at as well, because it's just for his wonderful artwork and how it suited, particularly for me, how it suited the Dream Hunters. His style, I first picked it up in the late 80s on a comic called Elric, and picking up on the Japanese theme that the story has, set, you know, back in feudal Japan, I suppose you call it. And just take a look at this first. I'm not going to go through every single page in this detail, but just look at how the inspiration that P. Craig Russell took from the old Japanese wood carvings, was it? Woodblock prints, sorry. And this, a very, very famous wood carving called the Great Wave off Kanagawa. Look at what P. Craig Russell's done here, just to evoke the mood of where we are, and, you know, a time and place in the world ready for that. These are just exquisite. The story involves the fox and the badger trying to persuade this monk to give up his temple. Now that's about all of the story I'm gonna say, because I don't want to give this too many spoilers away. So when I flick through these pages, you know why. It's because I don't want to give too much of the story away. Look just to evoke the storm. You could kind of flick through this book without knowing this and get a gist of the story. Just like I say, the figure work that P. Craig Russell does is really nice. It's wonderful. Now the fox transforms. Just look at this. Look at the construction of the story. P. Craig Russell working with Neil Gaiman, but he is credited as the storyteller, the graphic storyteller in this. So obviously, yes, Neil Gaiman's words, but it's just, you know, just at the top of his game, the guy, the artist. And obviously Gaiman is always at the top of his game. So just to give you a flavour of the artwork, but I want to just draw your attention to the foxes, more of this motif. You know, we know where we are. Like I say, we know where we are in the world, and just by the artwork. Right, look at this. Now we're in the fox's dream world, and just one little, how this is done. The eyes. Right, another interest. The Baku. Now the Baku in this story eat dreams. They eat dreams. If you wake up and you have a dream in this story, and you don't like, you can try and summon the Baku and they'll eat it. Just a nice little. I just thought that was a really nice addition to this story. Just one of those little details that Gaiman is so good at. When the dream fox disappears, the tail look how nicely this is done. Everything turns to black, a little bit of white on her towel. What is it? It's the moon. Now that is issue 1. This was 2009. Issue 1 of 4. Obviously it's going to be easier to get. Here we go, issue 2. It's going to be easier to get graphic novel, really, I assume, but again, just that. Here we go, Sandman. Obviously with Neil Gaiman, he hasn't even turned up yet. Look, I mean, look at what the guy's done to interpret, just to interpret that era. And they used like of as you can see, they've used a kind of print, the woodblock print kind of wash in the colouring. He worked with Laverne Kadinsky, I hope I've got that name right, that he's worked with forever on the colouring. So just to give it that extra feel, that this is what these are what true artists do, both Gaiman and P. Craig Russell. To just, like I say, yeah, we're in a dream now. Again, this wave motif, just on a quick bit of trivia on that wave motif. Chuck Jones, the animator on all the classics, including Roadrunner, took inspiration for Wile E. Coyote's tail. When he was designing it in 1945, this woodblock print is very, very famous, the wave off Kanagawa. That was in the 1829 to 1831, around that time. In 1945, over 100 years later, Chuck Jones is doing Wile E. Coyote's tail from that. I just thought that was a little bit of trivia. Again, with this is, I think this is beautiful stuff. This is beautiful in the colouring, the artwork. Where are we in the world? Where would we be? Like, we're not in Germany, are we? And I just mean by the artwork, like good graphic storytelling. You wouldn't need to know if there were no words in this. All right, with a Gaiman story, you wouldn't be able to follow the story, you know, like that closely. But I'm just saying, from a graphic storytelling point of view, the story just moves. It is a great. If you haven't got this, and you obviously love Gaiman stuff because you've got the graphic novels. There we go. Same format on the back. So there we go, issue 3. Again, the cover, Yuki Shimizu. This is one of my favourite covers out of the 4, obviously because I've got the individual issues. Yuki Shimizu. There we go, if you can track her down, her artwork. Then, here we go. Now we're getting into more of the Sandman we know. I mean, come on, this is the 3rd issue. We've had 2 issues, we haven't seen him yet. So, and again, just let me point out, look at the detail in this. Look at the detail in it. If you buy comics nowadays, there are very, very few, and I know it's mostly superheroic stuff that doesn't need this, but this is, look at just that one panel. And now, obviously, we're getting into lettering as well. Normally, you know, now he's doing the lettering in this as part of the, you know, obviously the main character's in the dream world, in the dreaming again, and it's getting a little bit darker now. We're in issue 3, but come on, it's Gaiman, so it does take its time. Look at that. Look, just beautiful stuff. Like I say, I do not want to giveaway. Again, we know where we are, don't we? Look, I wonder how much we see. Here he is. Now, is it me, or is he being given a more of a? Look, I just love that. Just love it. Is he being given a more Asian looking? You know, is this? I don't know. To me, he is. To me, he's more of an, you know, is it necessary? Do I like? But I kind of like that aspect of it. I really do. I just, every single page there is not a, you know, look at his cape, Sandman's cape. Look, just that, it's all made, you know, the artist's sensibilities, and it just suits Sandman so well. There we go. And this is just quickly sketches from the cover artist, Yuko Shimizu. Just nice. I'd love to see more of that, actually. Now I'm talking about it, maybe I need to track down a bit, see what other work she's done since 2009. Nice. Not even an advert on the back page. Look, just another illustration. Wonderful. Last issue, issue 4. So if you pick this up as a graphic novel, it's going to be a slim affair, but I think it will be padded out, hopefully, with maybe more illustrations and sketches by the cover artist, and maybe the artist on the novella who illustrated, because it was an illustrated novella. But stuff down here, look, these little demons and little creatures and monsters. I mean, if this isn't suited to Sandman, I don't know what. As in his art, as in P. Craig Russell's artwork. The fox again, just that wonderful way of melding it in, still using these, carrying these motifs through. Again, you know, just this. Oh, I just love this stuff. I just love this stuff. You can just, what a leisurely, you know, just a leisurely beautiful read. You just soak in these panels. And I hope I haven't given any of the story. I'm being very, very vague on the story. I know I just said a little bit at the beginning, because, you know, you've just got to have Gaiman's story, haven't you? I hope I haven't given too much of it away. It's just he always did, for some reason, I love the way he did fire. He makes fire, and I know there is a beauty to it, but he's always done it in almost a controlled way. The flames look, you know, it should obviously be a lot more chaotic than that, but I will just quickly flip through, because obviously we're coming to the end and I do not want to give it away. Here he is. Again, the cape. By now we know the Baku here. Here we go. I just love the whole idea. There we go. The end. So, and Neil Gaiman, obviously not Sandman, but I will just very, very quickly, because I think any Neil Gaiman fan is going to be aware of Coraline, but this is just really to show off, or show you, if you're not a P. Craig Russell fan, that he works so closely with Neil Gaiman. So if you're a Gaiman fan, and you know, not so much into comics really, P. Craig Russell and his artwork is going to be, I think, he uses a lot, and you know, I'm not, this isn't a criticism, he uses a lot of photographic reference for his artwork, and this is obviously not in the fantastical world of the Sandman, but just look. This is what I mean about Craig Russell's artwork. I hope everyone can see this clear. Look at how the pages flow. This is what comic storytelling should be. This is exactly what it should be. He's just at Craig Russell at the top of his game. Just anything with his artwork in it that he's been given rein on, like he did with the Elric books. I know I keep referring to that, and I might do a video on those, but you know, he's obviously Gaiman at this point. This is the 5th one. Obviously, I'm working backwards here. Look at this, and I know there's not the fantastical element in it that Sandman Dream Hunters had, but just look how suddenly you've got that right in the middle of it all. And I just go, this is all I really wanted to do with Coraline. If you haven't got it, because I'm pretty sure you're all going to be aware of the story. If not, you're in for a treat. Just get this book. Get this book. You're in for a treat. You know you are, because it's Neil Gaiman, and hopefully I'm persuading you that, you know, look at this stuff around here. And he loves his architecture. He loves architecture, the boy. Look at, I love it. Love it. Anyway, this is Coraline. Again, you know, he can do it. He can do it. And just look at the pages again. Just look at the pages. You know, hardly any words. This is what we want. This is what we want. That's great. Okay, now this is an unusual one, and I won't spend too long on it because it's only a very, very short story anyway. But just like as I was going through, as I had the idea to do Obscura, I just plucked this out of my collection. 1998 we're going back to now. Here we are, Gaiman. Look at the names on here. If you're a comic fan, just look at the names on here. So this is like a holiday special, like an annual kind of thing. Beautiful Brian Bolland cover. Look, Steve Dillon no longer with us, bless him, because obviously look, the creators of Preacher, Garth Ennis, Steve Dillon interview. Obviously Vertigo is where it all started for a lot of this stuff that we all love now, but almost like a who's who of 90s. You know, Grant Morrison there, look, Peter Milligan. Anyway, we're focusing on Gaiman, and this is only a very short story. But this time, not P. Craig Russell that I've been banging on about all the time. John Bolton, painted artwork. Look at this. And can you not tell this might be a Gaiman short story? The Flowers of Romance. Can we all not tell? Here we go. Whee! This is Gaiman, isn't it? This is Gaiman in 1998. Again, you know, no superheroics. Pure fantasy stuff. Just if you can pick it up. I just thought, you know, this with Vertigo, and that's it. That's the end. That's the Gaiman reference over and done with. But just if you could pick stuff like this up, if you're into Vertigo, and I just thought a little bit of Obscura. Yeah. So, talking of Obscura, Violent Cases, 1987. Here we are. Here's our boy, Dave McKean. Now, what else? Introduced by Alan Moore. Oh, what, the bloke who did V for Vendetta and Watchmen? Yeah, that Alan Moore. Oh, and Swamp Thing. Yeah. Dave McKean. Oh, what, the bloke that did Arkham Asylum? Yeah. Neil Gaiman. Oh, say no more. So again, a little bit of Obscura. I believe this was a British company that done this in 1987. I think there are American companies. Tundra, I think, did a reprint of it, and I think they did a 10th anniversary edition. But again, I'll just quickly run through it, just as a bit of a, you know, just for Gaiman, if you're a Gaiman fan, just to track down, or a Gaiman comic fan, whatever, you know, I just thought I'd pick out some interesting bits that you may not have heard of, but the geeky old hog in all my years and having the shops, I wonder who this is. Again, I love this art. I just love the artwork. I've always been drawn to the artwork more than obviously the story you can get into, or read the back part, whatever it is that you needed to get into a story. But I've got to admit, for me, the comic stuff, and again, a lot of life reference in this artwork, so maybe there's something, here he is again, maybe there's something in it, but I don't know whether this is, I was just going to say pure Gaiman. I don't know why I wanted to say that, but you know, these animals and you know, creatures in his stories, his avatars, and I just love this stuff. I just love this stuff. And I think around the same time, an artist called Bill Sienkiewicz, just quickly for all the comic, if there are any comic art fans out there, Bill Sienkiewicz was doing Moon Knight even before, yeah, I think a bit before maybe, so I don't know if inspiration come from that. And we know how Dave McKean's artwork, now this is where Dave was always going to go, wasn't it, into stuff like this. Yeah, just a little bit, like I say, I won't go into the story, because yeah, see, look, this is Sienkiewicz when he done stuff like Stray Toasters, which I should have on the shelf here somewhere, but I won't pluck it out because it's going to take too long. Yeah, I will finish off there actually, and just, I love this stuff, and it, you know, don't forget this is 1987, so nowadays this is probably, you know, something's falling off the panel, or you know, this use of space, this blank, you know, that is a silence in the story. If you're going to read it, that makes an impact, but that is a silence, that is a pause, and he was gone. Again, he is a sequential storyteller, sequential art. It is, you can't just slap pictures on a page. It doesn't work for the best comics, put it that way. It doesn't work for the best comics. But P. Craig Russell is a master, obviously Dave McKean is, but the thread through them all, Neil Gaiman. A little bit of Obscura for everyone. I hope you've enjoyed the slightly different format video, and I will see you soon. Adios.